You're welcome to another exciting episode of Brands and Fashion. This is where fashion lives. My name is Success Kemnis. Once again, welcome. Welcome back. This is still Brands and Fashion on iBrandTV. You've not missed anything because we are delving right into the first segment as usual, the trend segment. Now today's trend are pleats. They are well coordinated and sometimes we don't even know how to maintain them. Let's go and take a look at this video that explains every and anything when it comes to pleats. Let's go. Pleats. A pleat is a type of fold formed by doubling fabric back upon itself and securing it in place. It is commonly used in clothing and upholstery to gather a wide piece of fabric into a narrower circumference. Types of pleats include accordion pleats. Accordion pleats or knife pleats are a form of tight pleating that allows the garment to expand its shape while moving. Box and double box pleats. Box pleats are knife pleats back to back and have a tendency to spring out from the waistline. They have the same 3:1 ratio as the knife pleats and may also be stacked to form stacked or double box pleats. These stacked box pleats create more fullness and have a 5:1 ratio. They also create a bulkier seam. Cartridge pleats. Cartridge pleats are used to gather a large amount of fabric into a small waistband or arm cyc without adding bulk to the seam. Fluted pleats. Fluted pleats or flutings are very small, rounded or pressed pleats used as trimmings. The name comes from their resemblance to a pan flute. Other types of pleats include honeycomb pleats, kick pleats, kingusi pleats, organ pleats, plissé pleats, rolled pleats, and watteau pleats. And there you have it. Did you know that pleats had so many styles and designs? I didn't know. Why would you call something accordion? Fantastic. So now we're moving on to the next segment where we get to tap from the knowledge of a professional. And today we came visiting the king of fashion in the person of FERAN AARON. Have you heard that name? You probably have, but if you haven't, today is a very lucky day for you. He is the owner of Fashion Academy Lagos, a fashion designer and couture, and the owner of the FERAN brand. It's a fashion brand and we're going to be learning about that in a bit, but we are talking about teaching fashion first. And who better to discuss this than the king of fashion himself? Welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you.
So this man is a well of knowledge. I've not sat with him for like 10 minutes and trust me, my life is not the same. I have learned fashion-wise. He's your go-to guy. So how long have you been doing this for?
Yeah, I have been in fashion full-time from 1994. That was when I started the university. Actually started preparing. One thing led to the other when I finished my secondary school certificate examination. So, but 1994, I started fashion full-time.
Wow. And that means you have seen trends come and go and make comebacks.
Yeah, a lot of people are in fashion today, but they don't know about trends, you know. And I think because of social media and high tech now, trends are emerging. So the thing about fashion is this: I started fashion when there was more focus on trends. The advent of social media and high tech has made trends to be merging, and a lot of people in fashion don't know their trends coming in and going. Yeah, I remember when we had trends like I had pleats being mentioned in the show previously. We had tiny pleats in vogue. I'm sure a whole lot of folks that are not my age don't know about tiny pleats. Everybody wore it, and then baby doll dresses. And then I remember when I started, I was in year 2, my second year in the university. We had other styles like the wrap skirts came in vogue, and all of that. Then came gypsy, Charlie's, Bobby Brown outfits, and with far back I can remember trousers for men, 7-Up, and all of that.
Our textbook is getting full today.
Yeah, so yeah, so fashion roles in trend.
Now let's move and talk about teaching costume designing or clothes designing. It takes someone, like anybody can learn to sew, but transference of knowledge is very difficult. That's why we see half-baked tailors everywhere. And so, first of all, tell me, what inspired you to create that section for your fashion brand?
Yeah, something actually led to the founding of Fashion Academy Lagos. I discovered a dearth of fashion knowledge among designers in the industry back home here. You know, outside in other climes, fashion as an industry is a big profession and is well developed academically. It wasn't so here, and we are still not there yet. So when I meet with designers, I discovered a lot was lacking. I started fashion in a very wild way. I've never been trained. I've never gone through any apprenticeship or any, it's just a pure talent. But I don't know somehow, yeah. I was in the university. I just started my course in the university, but I don't know how. From the beginning, I will always read up. Because I wasn't trained, I had to go to the library. Instead of reading my agric, I studied agric economics. I would go to look for books on clothing, garment making, fashion. That was my passion. So I read up a lot of things about fashion internationally, professionally. I always want to do things professionally right. So I started studying. There was that desire, that longing to know more. So having acquired so much knowledge over the years from 1994, by the time I got somewhere, my interaction with other designers showed me a whole lot is lacking. Many people in fashion concentrate more on clothing, cutting, sewing. And believe me, at that point, at that time, 1994, we didn't have much of designers you have now. They were local tailors.
Like just cut and...
Yeah, what I call, the people I call the local dressmakers by the roadside. They are not sewing to standards. They are not sewing according to principles. They have not been taught. No formal or better well-developed informal education in fashion or garment making. So they can only do what they can do. Lots of mistakes. You know. So that led me, having acquired so much knowledge, and I said, okay, somewhere along, I wasn't very patient to teach, but I just believe it's divine, and I had the grace I could sit down, tutor somebody. So that's how 2010, I now founded Fashion Academy was open for the very first time to impart knowledge, the kind of knowledge that I think was lacking.
Because, you know, one person, the market is so big that one person can't really cater to everybody's needs, especially at once. No matter how big and extensive your company is, like there are some people that you will not be able to cater to, you know. So if you don't train people, if you don't put this thing out there, for someone like you, it's going to be an eye. So you look at the clothes and you're like, who made this? Who made this? And so let's talk about the journey through. How did it start? Like, when did you now fully start teaching people, and how often do you have these classes now?
I started Fashion Academy. Before Fashion Academy was founded, I had apprentices like every other fashion person. And they will come, So learn with me, which for me is the very best way to train in fashion. Apprenticeship. Yes. Fashion schools have failed. They have been overhyped. The influence of the fashion education from the West we are carrying is not delivering what we really want in Nigeria and in Africa. So from 2010, I founded the academy. Ever since then, it's been on. I have to train 2 set of people in terms of tuition. I have a scholarship program. That's from me trying to empower people that can't afford. Fashion education is very expensive. Then I also have a tuition program running. Every day there is someone training. It doesn't stop. Okay, there are breaks, there are holidays, but ever since then it's been on.
Fantastic. You cannot retain so many people part-time. So how many people? Because lots of people will be out there watching this and okay, please, I want to study under this man. I want this man to mentor me when it comes to fashion design. So how many people do you work with? And like, is there any plan to put a particular structure to it, say monthly, quarterly?
Yeah, that depends. First of all, we started small, from 5 scholarship students, and then we grew to, from there, I remember we've had up to 15, 20 on scholarship alone, free full-time. The scholarship training is full-time. They are the people that learn more. Now, how many have I retained? I only retained from the scholarship set, scholarship program. The condition is you're going to be trained free, totally free. From forms to everything is free. Full-time morning till evening, you're free, minimum 1 year. If you finish your scholarship and you don't want to move on, you don't have what it takes to establish, you can stay, we pay you.
That's if you're good enough.
That's if you're good enough. Definitely you have to be good enough because it's like a competition. There is an eviction plan. If you're not good, you repeat the second year. I've had somebody do 3 years. Wow. There are people that actually had to.
You are patient.
Yeah, he had to tell me, boss, when I wanted to evict him, he said, boss, even in school I'm slow, but if I stay long, I will learn. And he was the best, still my best student ever. Maybe not technically, but in terms of temperament, he was good. Male.
You need those kind of people around.
Yeah, you need them because sometimes it's not talent that is not enough. Yeah, you need temperament. If I tell him, go to the showroom, go to the other branch, stay, he goes. Others might argue. Even when he finished, he will keep coming to get mentorship. Others have disappeared. Now the other part is the tuition set. Fashion is glamour business. Funny enough, the people I want up till now to really impart are the youth. But the opposite is what I'm getting. The people coming to learn, coming to register in Fashion Academy to train are married women, big time ladies. They drive their jeeps, they are not coming to learn to be retained or to go and work from. I've had people send me messages, call me, please, can I have tailors? Other designers will send me messages, they want tailors that have graduated from my academy.
To come and work with them.
And I sometimes, it's funny because the bulk of the students coming in are big ladies that are opening fashion houses. They just want to have an idea. Most of them don't, from my experience, most of them don't really want to sew. They're going to employ tailors. So till tomorrow, we still have the problem of lack of tailors in the fashion industry.
So now let's move on and talk about how you can partner. Do you look forward to partnering with any brand? What do you think can be done to help, like, first of all, get a structure and also like create awareness that, okay, schooling people for fashion design, training them is necessary? Like, what partnership are you looking out for?
Yeah, talk about partnership. I just developed FERAN Fashion Fund. it's necessary for the scholarship to run. We have very creative young people in Nigeria. I know what I'm saying. Not the big ladies. They are looking for glamour. The young people I know are very creative, but they need to be trained. Fashion is a well-developed profession. It requires professional know-how. What do you see people being done? Like I always say, if I look at a dress, I can analyze it professionally, and a lot of things they don't obey the principles of design. Not all clothes made. You know, tailors and dressmakers, designers, wannabe can put up anything, combine anything, especially with the Ankara trend, combine anything, and then it doesn't obey some fashion principles. It's very wide. Now, I want to bring, I have an ambition, and I want to relocate the fashion capital from Europe to Africa and Nigeria. So it's a whole lot to do. So I'm very focused on the training. Designers really train, but I'm doing it. I just researched and found out that internationally, most couture houses have begun now to start teaching, because there are no haute couture designers
anymore,
tailors anymore. So
I really wish that this vision that you have,
it's gonna come, because I'm already talk of partnership, like you said. Yes, the fund will bring in people, brands to partner while we do the training.
Fantastic.
And it's just for us to set up the structure, launch it. Vogue magazine has a Vogue fund that empowers young designers in the United States.
Before we wrap up this segment, can you just quickly list out some of the things some of the courses you run here? Because I think last time I saw something on corseting, and corsets are pieces that are being used in different ways these days, very fascinating ways. So, like, list out some of these courses.
That's a nice one. First of all, basically, you have fashion broken down into different segments: fashion designing, fashion production, and fashion management. The design, the production, and the marketing. So we run courses in all of them, and of course, we break them down into menswear, women's wear, and children's wear. And I do lingerie as well as undergarments. Now, in design, you have to run courses like pattern designing, fashion design as a course that empowers you with the principles and the skills and the elements of designing for those who want to be designers. And then you have fashion illustration that helps you to grow as a course. And then go into production. That's the actual making of the fashion, because when you're talking about fashion, it's either garment or accessories. Okay, so if you're talking about production, you're going to learn clothing construction, shoe making or footwear making, bag making, which we do, and then and garment manufacturing. A lot of what we have here is garment making, different from garment
manufacturing. So when you say manufacturing, you're talking about ready to wear.
That means you're going to mass produce. You're going to be learning how to run a fashion garment assembly line, not working with tailors. There are different systems you're going to use there.
This man can write a full book. I'm serious. You are a well of knowledge, and I wish people can see, and I know that they will see what you are bringing to the table.
Yeah, they will see.
So we're moving on to the next segment of the show, where we celebrate our celebrity style inspiration. Today we have Uti Nwachukwu. Uti was a participant of the Big Brother Naija platform twice, and he has come out on top. He's now a TV personality and an actor, a host, and so many other things. We celebrate him because of his fashion. And so, king of fashion, what do you put into consideration before styling or constructing a design for someone with Uti's stature, tall, dark, and handsome?
Yeah, Uti is a nice guy. He has the build. What comes to my mind whenever I'm set out to design an outfit is the person wearing the outfit first. Yes, that will inspire me more. I am called unto beauty. Like I say always, I design differently for a beautiful woman. Yeah. When a beautiful woman walks into my fashion house, inspiration begins to run immediately. I don't need to struggle. And when you're ugly, I just give you what flatters you, what makes you beautiful.
So I feel that sums it up. When we come back from this break, we are going to delve into FERAN AARON, the brand. Don't go anywhere. They are our brand highlights for today. Stick and stay. Welcome back. We've been having a chit chat, and I must say it has been immensely impactful to me. I hope you had your pen and paper out. You should have enough to even publish a book right now. Lol. But we are back to talk about our brand's highlight, which is not a secret. We are delving into FERAN AARON, the brand. Now, here to talk to us about it is the CEO. We are privileged to have him on set today. So, right away, sir, talk to us. I want to start by laying out the different sections there are to the FERAN AARON brand.
Okay, that's a nice one. My name is FERAN AARON. There is a FERAN AARON brand, okay, as a fashion brand. Okay, that's the umbrella brand. FERAN AARON as a brand is a haute couture brand that deals with the art of the masterpieces. Okay, we're going to be seeing a whole launch soon. So that's where we do made to measure for men, women. Then there is a FERAN brand, just FERAN. That's our signature brand. So you could just say FERAN. That's the ready-to-wear brand of FERAN. There is also FERAN Club. We just launched FERAN Club. Is one, I think it's the one I love best. Deals with casual wears, while the FERAN brand is social occasion outfits.
Let's say business casual.
Not business casual. The FERAN brand does not handle business.
So casual?
No, the casual is FERAN Club. Okay, it's inspired by the Lagos nightclub lifestyle.
Oh, fantastic.
Those skimpy, sexy casuals. But the FERAN brand, ready-to-wear brand, is dressy things you want to wear for wedding, social occasions.
Red carpet,
you're right. So serious looks. Then you have the FERAN lingerie. That's the hottest one. That's my second love, okay?
The underwear and undergarments.
Sexy lingerie inspired by love. What inspired me to set up that line was my love for marriages and trying to ramp up intimacy between partners, okay?
This man.
So, it was a bomb when I dropped it, and it's doing very well. So that line takes care of sexy lingerie. And then there is a FERAN bridal that handles wedding gowns. So those are the brands we have. So the FERAN AARON is the umbrella brand. Then we have the others as subsidiary brands.
Wow. So amongst all your different facets and subsidiaries, which is doing the best and which are you best known for?
I love FERAN lingerie and FERAN Club that I just launched.
Wow.
FERAN is like an old kid on the block that has been on, but FERAN has made name for me. So with the FERAN brand, I have dressed governors, celebrities, business people that want to show off. So that was the starter, FERAN AARON and the FERAN brand.
And then the rest?
The rest followed.
Last words for people that want to join this business. If I am an aspiring fashion designer, what would you tell me? And what just tips and tricks?
So I will advise upcoming designers and those interested, make sure you have the talent, you're gifted in fashion, get proper training, get good mentorship,
And you're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been fantastic. And so we're moving on to the fashion talent segment, where we celebrate from illustrators to fashion designers and models. Today, we have a model, a young man who is doing excellently well in his field, in the person of Hamid Onifade. This young lad has walked the runway for Calvin Klein and so many other top brands, and has featured in lookbooks for fashion brands like Ralph Lauren and a host of others, and that is why we celebrate him. He's an African model doing excellently well, and that's the reason Brands and Fashion is taking out time to celebrate you, Hamid Onifade. So, have you worked with models here at FERAN?
The answer is yes. I always work with models. If you're a core, the only person that doesn't work with models is a roadside tailor or dressmaker. It doesn't have any need. The customer is the model. Just come in, you know how it is. But once you are a fashion designer, you have to have models. This is how we put it. In the workshop or the factories, garments are made. But when the clothes are worn by models on the runway, only then do they become fashion. So fashion is what is produced on the runway. At the workshop, we produce garments. Okay, so if you're a core designer, you have to walk that process. The runway being trodden by models is where garments are turned into fashion. That means a whole lot to us. If it is not fashion, fashion means trend, of course. Not all clothes are fashion. So when a model wears this garment,
it's instantly elevated.
If you see the beauty, fills in the shape, because all of these clothes, we are talking about looks. You call them clothes, we call them looks. We are going to be looking at them three-dimensionally. A lot of design details we want to sell. We are communicating, so we want to be sure the curves, the body
is sending all the right signals.
Right communication. That's what we call the language of clothes.
I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. The King of Fashion has spoken. And with that, we wrap up the fashion talent segment. I want to really appreciate you for coming on here. I hope to visit your fashion school and maybe even take a coverage of it and show people what's really going on here. I hope I'm welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on. And with that, we've come to the end of this exciting episode. I hope you learned a thing or two. Make sure to follow iBrandTV on all social media platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube. Make sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel for more fashion tips and tricks and for more on fashion business. Stick and stay with iBrandTV, bringing you brands and fashion. My name is Success Caminus. Goodbye. Thank you.